Firefighters monitor a backfire while battling the ranch fire, part of the Mendocino Complex fire, on Tuesday, August 7, 2018, near Ladoga, Calif. AP photo, Noah Berger. Between last year's deadly wildfires and this summer's fatal blazes, utilities and insurers with a huge stake in the aftermath have poured more than $3.2 million into California campaign donations and another $5.2 million into lobbying at the state capitol, a big spike. Also fiercely lobbying on wildfire bills, plaintiffs' attorneys, local governments and electrical worker unions. Now, in the final weeks of the legislature's session, lawmakers on a special wildfire committee are considering proposals to beef up safety of the electrical system and change liability laws. Cal Matters reviewed new lobbying and campaign finance reports covering the first 6 months of the year. The takeaways: lobbying is up by a low tad. Choice advertising and red invented by Teeds. The state's three big electric utilities together more than doubled their spending on lobbying during the first half of this year, compared with the same period last year. The increase was driven largely by Pacific Gas. Between April and June this year, PG. "This is really the biggest issue facing our company today," said PG. Issue: who should be responsible to pay for fire damages? Under existing law, utilities are liable if fires are traced to their equipment, even if there's no negligence. Governor Jerry Brown has proposed changing the law to relieve utilities of some liability protection they desperately want. Edison, which provides power to much of Southern California, spent $1.3 million lobbying in the first half of this year, double what it spent last year. Insurance companies are the utilities' main adversary in this. If utilities become less liable, insurers will have to bear more of the costs from disasters. Insurance trade associations increased their spending on lobbying in the state capitol by 51% this year over last. There's a whole lot of whining and dining going on. Most of the money utilities and insurance companies spent on lobbying went to lobbyists, lawyers and publicity campaigns. But the total also includes every cocktail and steak the companies bought for government officials they are trying to influence, nearly $69,000 worth of goodies for the first half of this year. PG. In July, Connelly was appointed to the committee crafting wildfire legislation. He declined to comment for this story. Overall, PG. Bill Dodd, a Napa Democrat who is co-chair of the Wildfire Committee, and a lunch in June for Todd Durham, chief of the Sonoma division of CAL FIRE, the agency investigating last year's fires. CAL FIRE has said PG. CAL FIRE has not yet completed its investigation of the deadliest blaze, known as the Tubbs Fire. Edison spent more than $45,000 entertaining officials. That included a $12,000 reception in January attended by more than 100 legislators and staff members, and a dinner in March at a Los Angeles steakhouse for LT. Governor Gavin Newsom, who is running for governor. The Personal Insurance Federation of California spent $14,300 entertaining lawmakers and their staff, including an $8,500 reception in March and a $4,000 soiree at a Sacramento nightclub in April. In addition, the trade association treated officials to microbrews, sushi dinners and other goodies, such as a $53 cake for an Assemblywoman's chief of staff. Rex Frazier, the Personal Insurance Federation lobbyist, said government decisions have a huge impact on the insurance business because it is so highly regulated. With that, he said, comes relationship building with legislators, victims advocacy group funded by lawyers. Fire victims are lobbying to preserve liability laws and pass new rules that could help prevent future wildfires. Their advocacy group Up From the Ashes is represented by a lobbyist who lost his Santa Rosa home in the fires. The group blames PG. Up From the Ashes spent about $564,000 lobbying between April and June, with about $55,000 going to a lobbying firm and the rest to a publicity campaign. Where did the money come from? Essentially, law firms involved in lawsuits against utilities. "We appreciate their funding so we can have a voice," said Patrick McCallum, the lobbyist for Up From the Ashes, which represents about 600 homeowners, businesses, and local governments that lost property in last year's fires. Bipartisan love affair. The industries involved in the fight over wildfire legislation aren't playing favorites. They've showered dozens of Republican and Democratic legislators with large campaign contributions and pour huge sums into committees to elect politicians from both parties. Edison gave $1.1 million to California political campaigns this year, including $250,000 each to the California Democratic Party and the California Republican Party. It also gave $25,000 each to a GOP group called California Trailblazers and the Democratic campaign fighting a senator's recall. In advance of the June primary, Edison gave $29,200 each to Gavin Newsom and Antonio Villaraigosa, Democratic rivals in the gubernatorial race. It's also given $25,000 to a committee that supports moderate Republicans and $40,000 to one that supports moderate Democrats. In addition, PG and the Farmers Insurance Company gave $96,500 to the state GOP and $10,000 each to the California Democratic Party and the Newsom campaign. Lawmaker doesn't want PG. On June 30th, he returned the money. Start your day with the news you need from the Bay Area and beyond. Sign up for our Morning Report weekday newsletter. Would decline to comment on why he sent back the PG. But here's a clue: he represents parts of Santa Rosa devastated by last year's fires. Now he sits on the Wildfire Committee, where he's questioning whether the legislature should change liability laws before CAL FIRE completes its investigations. CalMatters.org is a non-profit, non-partisan media venture explaining California's policies and politics. 80 Quality Auto 360p 720p 1080p. You might also like basic facts you should know about currency trading. IG Singapore football, unhappy Paul Pogba agrees to join Barcelona. Print edition Asics Gel Kayano 25, ideal for runners with flat feet. Print edition eligibility check for a U.S. green card. Immediate U.S. green card free check. Doing this before bed could help your hair growth. HealthierPatriot.com. Do you know prediabetes can be reversed? Health Promotion Board travel troubleshooter. Why didn't overseas adventure? MercuryNews.com. Caitlyn Jenner, drama and mystery blonde rushed to the MercuryNews.com. 5 Burning Man myths debunked. MercuryNews.com. Howard Stern character died of heroin overdose. TMZ says Omarosa releases another recording. Trump hits back. Not smart. Najib denies he called National Security Council meeting to declare. Straits Times 25 cat breeds with the friendliest personalities. www.familyminded.com. Born before 1977? Struggle to hear? You must read this clinic. Compare Ask Amy. She hasn't bathed in months and she wants to stay with me. Nicole Kidman reveals painful reasons she and Tom Cruise didn't have biological children. 33-year-old man dies after crashing into road barrier in Tampines. Straits Times. Which city tops this year's high quality of life list? Work, money, play now. See why millions of adults can't put the strategy game down. Vikings Ask Amy. We're 40 years married, and now she becomes a gold digger? Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy concocted an affair to stay in the closet. Hollywood hustler dishes a new film.